to tell somebody's history takes an entire world of knowledge to be able to tell a story. You know, just one story doesn't tell an entire people's history. So, you know, for the Kumeyaay, we have a very long and extensive history here, and it's very multifaceted, and it has its own education system, its own way of telling history, and its own way of passing on knowledge. And we're in a kind of a unique position here because we've been, in a way, separated from our home, but we've never been removed. We've never left, we've never gone anywhere, and we've never been disconnected. We've never lost that connection to our home, and that's been from the ocean to the desert. And we've never had to come and rediscover our roots. And our songs and our singers are probably, you know, one of the biggest reasons why we've kept that connection. You know, our songs are not just about entertaining, they have purpose, there's meaning behind them, they carry a vast amount of knowledge and history, and they've transcended time, and they've, you know, been passed down from generation to generation, and our singers are the ones that have taken on that huge responsibility. And I don't even, you know, really have the words to describe the reverence and the gratitude that we have for our singers and what they do for our community, what they do for our culture. They're always there for us. They never say no, and there's really no way that we can ever thank them enough. You know, I've heard many singers talk about, you know, one of the first things that they learn when they start singing is, or that they're told, is that this isn't a dog and pony show. You know, you're not up there to act cute, you're not up there to showboat. You know, it's a responsibility, and it's a commitment, and it's a commitment they make for life. And like I said, there's no way to thank them enough for what they do for us. And you know, also that rattle that they carry is more than just an instrument of music. It's, you know, it's a very serious thing. It carries a lot of meaning, and that's another thing that's been passed down through the generations and through family lines. And it's very steeped in tradition. And, you know, sometimes I think of it kind of as a torch that they're carrying, that they're guiding us through this life. They sing at our funerals, they guide us to the next life, and then they pass that down to the next generation. And it's really that passing on and that way of passing knowledge to our next generation that's been a big part of the Kumeyaay perseverance. And, you know, our ancestors have been through a myriad of horrific devastations, you know, through genocide, through first the Spanish missionary period, and then there was the Mexican era, and then the American period, which to this day is causing damage to us still. And I think that, you know, survived, you know, it's through all that devastation, all that suffering, all that trauma, our culture is still here. It still exists, and we're still carrying that on. And I think that's truly a testament to the strength and the connectedness that, you know, our people have, you know, what our culture is and what our education system really is, and how it's carried on through these, you know, time immemorial. And there's been a lot of damage along the way, and there's some things that are gone, but, you know, we're continually repairing those damages, and each generation is taking it another step in that revitalization process. And that's another reason we're here, is, you know, for that next generation. And as our culture revitalizes, and as we, you know, become more prevalent in the day-to-day lives that, you know, San Diego's walk through, you're going to see more and more of us, you know. And we know you're not going anywhere. We know for sure we're not going anywhere. So, you know, we want to maintain healthy relationships and, you know, build an understanding of each other and who we are. And that's, you know, I think the foundation of building relationships is really having an understanding of each other. And so that way, the next time you hear about Kumeyaay people, or you hear that the Kumeyaay are doing something, or even when you're driving down the road and look at a billboard for a casino, it's not just those Indians, that used to live here. Oh yeah, I know those Indians, they used to live here. I want to be the people that have always been here, and for you to know who we are and what that means, and to have an understanding of that. So when you hear about Kumeyaay, you say, oh, okay, I know what they're doing, and I know why they're doing it, and maybe you'll take part, or maybe you'll lend support, depending on what the situation is. So that's what I really hope to get out of this is, a better understanding, and we're about building, stronger communities and working together, and that's the goal here. And the speakers that you're going to hear from tonight, I don't think it's any coincidence that they're also our educators. They've taken on that responsibility of singing, and they're passing that knowledge down, and in their day-to-day lives, they're also educators. Stan Rodriguez has done amazing work with our language, and a lot of you probably know him from the Kumeyaay College and revitalizing cultural practices. And Raul Chrisman is our director of the Kumeyaay College. And that's another thing, I can't even tell you what it means, to be a Kumeyaay person and to have a Kumeyaay College. It's a feeling that's indescribable, and it's getting bigger and better all the time. And for those of you unfamiliar with the Kumeyaay College, you need to get familiar with the Kumeyaay College, especially all you people, educators, historians, archaeologists, anybody telling San Diego history. You need to come to the Kumeyaay College and learn San Diego history. And for those of you that just call San Diego your home, you love this place, go take some classes for fun. Go learn a little bit of Kumeyaay history, some language, get involved in some practices, and really get to know who you are, and get a maybe a different perspective on your environment and the home you live in. So so thank you again for coming, and I hope that you learn something and we understand each other better, and that we get to know each other better. So I don't know who's up next, but thank you.